Good morning friends. Welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In the last video, I have discussed about C program on matrix addition. I hope you have watched that video. In this video, I want to discuss how to write a C program for performing matrix multiplication. So I request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. First, let me discuss how the matrix multiplication will be performed. Suppose let's take that you have a matrix A which is 2 by 2 matrix, and then you have another matrix which is 4 5 6 7. Let's take that you have a 2 by 2. Remember one point: if you are performing the matrix A into matrix B, let's take that you have a matrix A and you have the matrix B, and this matrix has a m rows and n columns. This matrix has the p rows and q columns. When you can perform the matrix multiplication is that if n is equal to p, meaning is that the number of columns in the matrix A should be equal to the number of rows in the matrix B. Then only the matrix multiplication is possible, otherwise it is not possible. Here if you look at the number of columns in the matrix A is 2 and the number of rows also in the matrix B is 2. So they are equal. So I can say that matrix multiplication between these two matrices are possible. Now once it is possible, now how can we compute the matrix multiplication? It is very simple. You take the 1 and you perform the multiplication with 4 plus 2 into 6. Are you able to understand it or not? You need to take this row 1 and you need to multiply with 4. Then 2 you need to multiply with 6. So like this row elements with this column elements. Then what will be this one? 1 into 5 plus 2 into 7. Is it clear? Are you able to understand it or not? Then once it is done, this row with this column. Okay. Then this row 3 into 4 plus 4 into 6. This row elements and this column elements, and this row elements and this column elements. So that's why 3 into 5 plus 4 into 7. Are you able to understand? So each row, this row you need to multiply with these columns, this row you need to multiply with these columns, this row with this column, this row with this column. So once you are doing, you will get it as the result as 4 plus 12, which will be 16. Okay, 5 plus 14 will be 19. Okay, 12 plus 24, which will be 36. Okay, 15 plus 28, which will be 43. So this will be the result after performing the matrix multiplication between these two matrices. I hope you have understood what is matrix multiplication, what are the rules you should follow, and how to perform the matrix multiplication. Now with this concept, let me write the C program for performing the matrix multiplication of any two matrices consists of rows and columns. Okay. Let me erase this one so that I will use this space to write the program. Okay. Now what you need to do? You need to use the header file called stdio.h. So hash include stdio.h, which is a standard input output header file. Then you will use a void keyword and you will use a function called main, and then you need to declare the few variables and the few arrays. So I want to take all the integer arrays. Okay, A of 100 and 100, B of 100 and 100, 100 rows and 100 columns, C of 100 comma 100. Let me make it. I don't want to increase this one so that I can use this space. So now I am declaring the normal variables which are integers. So I will take the row 1, or let me take the m comma n comma p comma q and I comma j. Okay, and even I will take sum is equal to 0, and even I will take a variable called k. Okay, all these variables what are they are required, I am using them. okay, or I'm declaring them. Now what I need to do, first I need to ask the user to enter the number of rows and number of columns of the first matrix. Enter the rows and columns of matrix 1. Let me write in a shortcut as M1, which is matrix 1. Okay, once the user has entered, I need to read those values and store them in the corresponding memory location. So I'm reading an integer, so that's why I'm using the percentage %d, and I'm storing it in the address location of variables m and n. Similarly, I'm asking the user to enter the rows and columns of the matrix 2. Okay, enter the rows and columns of, let me use the red pen so that it will be visible for you. Of matrix 2, let me use \n, which is a new line character, and I am scanning those values and I am storing in the memory locations of variable p and q. Now I got the value of m and I got the value of n, p and q also. Now what is the condition to be checked when you need to, before performing the matrix multiplication, the n value should be equal to p. Am I right or wrong? Is it clear? Because the first matrix, the number of columns should be equal to the number of rows in the matrix 2. If n is not equal to p, then you can say that printf matrix multiplication is not possible. Matrix multiplication is not possible. Is not possible. Okay, else. Okay, if this condition is failed, when this condition will be failed, when n is equal to p, then this condition will be true. Are you able to understand? So if n is equal to p, then it will come to the else block, so I can perform the matrix multiplication. So to perform the matrix multiplication, I need to ask the user to enter the elements for the matrix 1 and matrix 2. I need to read them. So for I is equal to, before doing that one, I need to ask the user to enter the elements. So printf enter the elements of matrix 1. Let me write it as m1 for the space constraint. Okay, then once the user has entered, I need to store them. Okay, so I'm using the nested loops concept because it is the two-dimensional array. So for I is equal to 0, I less than m, I plus plus. For j is equal to 0, j less than n, j plus plus. You scan it, scan of %d, and you need to store in the array A in the location of I and j. Is it clear? So whatever the elements the user has entered, you stored in the matrix A. Similarly, you need to ask the user to enter the elements for matrix 2. Enter the elements of matrix 2. Okay, is it clear? Then what you need to do? Again, you need to take the for I is equal to 0, I less than p, I plus plus. For j is equal to 0, j less than q, j plus plus. This is q, not 9. Okay, or let me write like this. Okay, is it clear? Are you able to understand it or not? Here also it is not 9, it is q. If it is a 9, it is an invalid variable. Okay, now scanf %d ampersand, you need to read these values in the matrix B, so that's why you need to write the name of the matrix as B and the index values are I and j for the rows and columns respectively. So you got the elements in the matrix 1 and matrix 2. Now you need to perform the matrix multiplication. So how you will perform? Look at this one. If you have a matrix of m cross n and another matrix as P and Q. Then after performing the matrix multiplication, the result will be M cross Q. Am I right or wrong? So with this one, let me write the program. For I is equal to 0, I less than M, I plus plus. Okay. For, let me open the braces. For j is equal to, sorry for it, the marker is not writing. Let me use the red marker. For j is equal to 0, j less than q, j plus plus. Okay. Then I will use the another loop. For k is equal to 0, k less than p, k plus plus. Okay. Are you able to understand it or not? Open this matrix and then you perform this operation. What is that? Sum is equal to sum plus, okay, A of matrix A, ith row and kth column into B of k of j. This you need to perform. Is it clear? The matrix A, ith row, kth column should be multiplied with the matrix B, kth row and j column. Is it clear? Are you able to understand it or not? After doing that one, okay, what you need to do? After doing this one, okay, you will close this one and you will write C of I of j is equal to sum. That sum you need to store in the C of I of j, and then again you need to assign sum is equal to 0. Am I right or wrong? Because initially you have initialized the sum is equal to 0. First matrix ij you have computed, C of I of j you computed with this operation sum is equal to sum plus A of I of k into B of k of j, and after assigning that sum to the matrix C, again you will initialize the sum is equal to 0. Then you will close the matrix 2, means the loop 2 and this loop also. These two loops you have closed. So you know you got the matrix multiplication and the result is stored in the matrix C. Okay. Now you need to display the output to the user. So how you will display? For I is equal to 0, I less than m, I plus plus. For j is equal to 0, let me open this curly braces. For j is equal to 0, j less than q, j plus plus. Okay. You will print the result in the matrix form. So what you need to do? You need to write printf %d backslash t C of I of j. Okay. Whatever the value is there in the matrix C, in the ith row and jth column, that value will be printed. After printing that one, it will go to the tab space, means it will give a tab space and the cursor will be pointing to that value where the next space is there. Means after that, means you will print the value. Suppose let's take that 9 is there, the 9 value will be printed and the cursor will be pointing here after the tab space. Whatever the next element you are printing, it will be printed here. Is it clear? Now you have done this one. After that you need to check. Okay, is it clear? You have printed, then you need to check if j is equal to q minus 1, then you need to give a backslash n, printf backslash n, so that after printing the elements which are there in the first row, it will go to the next line and the next row elements will be printed, so that it will be looks like a matrix form. Okay, you are closing these two loops and then you are writing the getch function and you are closing this one. So this is the entire program for you to perform the matrix multiplication. For your comfort, I have written the entire program. I would have just explained this logic, but as you are the beginners or some students may be learning the programs now, or someone is learning the C program now itself, or someone would have studied the C program but they want to learn the program how to write the matrix multiplication. For them I have written the entire program. I request you to note down this one and compile it and check the output. Now let me discuss the logic behind this program. Okay, where should I write? I am looking for the space. Okay, you have 1 2 3 4 is there. This is the first matrix, and then second matrix also you have 1 2 3 4. Now how it has to be performed? Look at this one. I value is initialized to 0. Look at this part. I value is 0. What is the m value? M value is 2. Okay, n value is 2, p value is 2, q value is 2. So this condition will be failed. 2 is not equal to 2. This condition will be false, so it will come to the else block. Entire this part will happen. Now m value is 2, so 0 is less than 2. This condition is true, so it will come to this one. J is equal to 0. Now it has initialized the j value as 0. Are you able to understand it or not? J less than q, so 0 is less than 2. Again this part is also true, so it will come to this loop. Again it will initialize the k value to 0. So I, j, k, currently they are 0 0 0. Now what is the p value? 2. 0 is less than 2. Again this condition is true. Are you able to understand? So it will come to this plot. What is this one? Sum is equal to sum plus. Currently what is the sum value? 0. So you write sum is equal to 0 right now. Okay, it will perform sum is equal to sum plus 0 plus a of I, which is a of 0 0 into b of k value 0, j value 0. So it will perform a of 0 0. This one will be performed multiplication with this one, 1 into 1. Okay, that will be performed. You will get 1. In this case 1 into 1 you will get 1. 0 plus 1 you will get 1 right now. So sum is currently consists of 1. How many members have understood this point? This is very simple. Sum is equal to sum plus 0 plus a of 0 0 0 0. Is it clear? After doing this one, where it will go? It will go to the updation section, because this loop, what are the statements are there, it is done. So k value will be incremented, k value will be updated to 1. Now again k value is 1, p value is 2, so this condition is again true. If this condition is true, again you need to execute the statement. Sum is equal to sum plus a of I of k into b of k of j. Currently what is the sum? Sum plus 1 plus a of I is 0, k value is 1 into k value is again 0, again 1, j value is 0. So you are multiplying the element which is there here and here. This is 0 1. Am I right or wrong? If you have a doubt, you can look at this. This is the 0th index row and column, 0 1. So this is 0 1, this is 0 1. So 0 1 of 0 1, this is nothing but 2. B of 1 0 1 0, this is. So you are doing the 2 into 3. So 2 into 3 you will get 6. 1 plus 6 will be 7. So sum will be having the value of 7. Is it clear? Now you look at, now the k value will be incremented, k value will be updated to 2. Are you able to understand it or not? K value is updated to 2. Now 2 is less than 2. K value is 2, p value is 2. 2 is less than 2. No, 2 is equal to 2. This condition is failed. If this condition is failed, you will come out from this loop, then you will enter this loop. So after this loop you have these two statements. So this is the ending of this loop. Is it clear? So you need to execute this one. C of I of j. I value is what? 0. J value is 0. In the C 0 0 location, whatever the value is there in the sum, that value you will store, which is 7. Are you able to understand it or not? So C, here you will store the value 7, because this is 0 1 0 1. In the 0 0 you will store the value. After doing that one, again you are making the sum is equal to 0, and then you will increment the j value. Now the j value will become 1. Okay, now 1 is less than 2 because q value is 2. 1 is less than 2. Again this loop is true, so again you will enter to this loop, because if this condition is true you will execute this part again. Am I right? Now what will be the k value? Again the k value will be updated to 0. Is it clear? Like this it will happen. Okay, are you able to understand it or not? So with this logic, I hope you have understood how to write a C program for matrix multiplication. If you still have any doubts related to this program, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.